I hear this confession is not exactly a pleasant one, but I tell you that here we take the good, the bad, the ugly. My ears are wide open and I'm listening without judgment. My lady, your confession.
So I have been married for 4 years now.
Okay.
In the first year, my husband was romantic.
Wow.
I think I was in cloud 9. The relationship was good. But after a year, he's changed. He started abusing me sexually and physically. I reported him to my parents, but they said I should still stay with him because he's my husband. I had 4 miscarriages. Yes, from his beatings. He had 2 kids with his baby mamas. So I started putting medicine in his food.
Medicine?
Medicine, yes.
What medicine means?
I wanted him to change in a way.
Yeah.
So that maybe when he falls sick, he will stay in the house and not go outside. Because he won't.
You mean you put poisonous substances in his food?
Yes.
So that he will change?
Yes.
I promised I'll listen without judgment. I'm listening, my lady.
Fortunately for me, he changed.
Oh, he changed?
Yes.
Why? Was there some love potion in the poisonous substance or what?
No, so he started falling sick.
Okay.
So he had to go and see his doctor. His doctor didn't know what was really wrong with him.
Whoa.
Because they didn't know it was the poison I put in the food. Because they did a lot of testing. They didn't find what was exactly wrong with him. So he started staying in the house because he was sick.
Oh.
Yes. And then he started loving me back. He was caring now. And now I'm pregnant for him.
Oh.
And I've started to also love him because he has changed.
Okay.
I don't know whether to confess to him for what I have done, so that he will seek medical advice from doctors or solutions.
Yeah.
So I'm here to get advice, whether to confess to him or I should let him die.
Hey. Well, quite a confession. In here in the booth, I'm just the person you confess to, you vent to, you tell your story, and I listen without judgment. And so, I would have to excuse myself from the booth so that I can sit in my seat as the presenter of confessions, so we have a conversation about this. A very pathetic story. My lady, I'm very sorry for all the abuses that you endured. It is said that hell has no fury like a woman scorned. She is hurt deeply and she found her way to get her man to be exactly where she needed him to be. But it's almost too late. You all heard a confession, a very sad one. I do not even know how to feel. I don't know how, if the empathy is going for the man or for the woman, because she endured so much. My lady, did you have a question or contribution?
It saddens my heart to hear such stories, because this message has been preached over and over again. If the relationship or marriage becomes abusive, please leave.
Yeah.
Especially when there are no children involved. But this lady did not leave because her parents insisted that she stays. But there's a saying that it is only the one who lives in the house that knows where the roof leaks. So this lady was in pain and should have been left to take a bold decision. Now, she didn't leave, and she has become so bitter to the extent that she has poisoned the husband. I think that she should confess quickly in order for her to save the life of the husband. I don't know if that's going to be possible because...
But would her life be saved? Because if it gets to the police, which the man naturally would want to, the laws are going to grab her. And then would she have a life? But how about the unborn child?
I think, yes, the child is also at stake. So I think she should do that quickly.
Right,
yeah.
Thank you, my lady. Yes, sir.
Yes, Miss Nancy, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I want to throw more light on what she said. Yeah, so I think leaving the marriage would be the best thing for the woman. As a health professional, I want the woman to consider a divorce at this point and prioritize her health and that of the unborn child. You were asking about if she will be safe with regards to the laws. In that case, she can report her husband's abuse to the appropriate authorities. With that, she's potentially ensuring her safety and also helping others who are in the same situation. Because at this point, it is clear that the husband's sudden change is as a result of his physical vulnerability and not a genuine transformation.
To help me have this conversation tonight is, of course, a medical doctor, Dr. Jehu Appiah. Let him feel welcome. Let him feel loved. Dr. Jehu Appiah. And with him is the counselor. He is a licensed professional and experienced counselor. And we bring him again on Confessions. Hello, sir. Counselor George Asa. Celebrate him, celebrate him, celebrate him. Hello, sir. Thank you. Always good to have you. It's been a while, though.
Yes, you don't like me.
I do adore you, sir. You dropped me like a bad habit.
Hallelujah.
It's good to have you back.
Good to see you too.
Did you hear the confession?
Oh, I did. And chilling, isn't
It
it?
is.
It's chilling. And the lady needs help.
She does.
She needs help. And what can I say about it? She went through a lot.
She did.
The support system in the country, she was not made aware of. Pastors, counselors, sometimes what you tell them, and our parents too, because she went to her parents.
Her parents.
And it says that you should endure it because you are in for the long haul.
Yeah.
But this lady was going through a lot of trauma. If you know what is miscarriage, she's miscarried 4 times because of the beating, the trauma, psychological, physical, everything, spiritual. So she took that option, which she shouldn't have taken. So this is a terrible confession. I think as we go on, we're going to discuss it and we'll ask ourselves what will happen to her if the band gets to know, if her friends get to know, if her pastors get to know, if her parents get to know.
Suddenly everybody forgets what you've been through,
yes,
and they only know that you are a killer.
You do not have to take the decision yourself. There's support system. There's support system in the country. There's support system everywhere you can rely on. And these pastors will tell us that you are in this for the long haul. There's no divorce. If you are being beaten, if you are being abused,
physically,
if you are being traumatized at that level, at a stage you lose your mind.
Yes.
And you do certain things that you would wish you hadn't done. So this is the situation we have for this girl.
Counselor, one of my take out of her confession was that she told her parents and they said she should stay in. At what point do you as an adult make decisions for yourself and hold yourself responsible and accountable for those decisions? And at what point do parents need to stop parenting their adult children?
Thank you, Miss Nancy. Yes, as an adult, she is responsible for her own actions and decisions. But you see, as Dr. rightly said, support system. We have the support system, but we don't know where to source them from. If she had gone for the right source,
like a professional counselor,
a psychologist,
yes,
she wouldn't have been in this mess. So that's the problem. If she had come to me with the abusive complaint, do you know the first place we'll go?
Tell us.
If a wife comes to me, my husband is abusing me. Oh, we have lost in this land.
Of course.
Straight away, police station.
Yes.
I told someone, I told him, you are fortunate your wife didn't report you to me first. I would have taken you to the police station, lock you up, sign the bond, and then we'll bring you home and your wife will prepare a light soup, a nice light soup for you.
With plenty of pepper to make him sweat. Yes.
So it started. It started with abuse, and she has suffered. Unfortunately for her, the source of counseling or advice was wrong. And this has led to where she is. And it is not only her. Many people are going through this.
So many.
So many people, so many women. I tell you, the stories I get in my office, I don't know. Sometimes I just look at some guys.
But for the people that are being abused, are they candid about their situation to their parents, or sometimes they katasum so? Because Sami or bad time, that my daughter, my beautiful, intelligent daughter, you hit her in a game. You go so far.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, you see, well, let's put our shoes into the shoes of the abused. They suffer a lot of emotional stress, and sometimes the most dangerous part of it is when they feel that they shouldn't let people know.
Yeah.
And sometimes they begin to feel that it is their fault. That is the psychological effect on the abused. And so some is like, well, maybe I did something wrong. Maybe I deserve this. All these things runs through their brains. And so they get confused. And that is how or when they need a professional help and support.
Today, if you haven't learned anything on confessions, know that sometimes forget mommy and daddy, forget sister and brother and bestie, seek for professional help.
It's true. Very true.
That is established. Now, let us get into at what point some women do not even know when they are being sexually abused. For a wife who has been groomed that the bedroom, the bed, having sex with your husband any day, anytime is your wifely duty. Doc, when can she say that I have been sexually abused in our part of the world?
Pastor says, Pastor Counselor says something and I agree with him totally. You see, we are getting acculturated. We have a culture and now we have evolved to pick up other cultures. So sometimes the people say that don't date your partner before you get married. How do you get to know him?
How?
The person that you married that day is a stranger to you.
Yeah.
And he gets to the bedroom and you go through this traumatic experience. You understand? So at a stage, cut off. Be yourself, or know that there's a system that can support you, a system that can help you mitigate this suffering you are going through. So at a stage, you ask yourself, is it what I bargained for? Is it what I bargained for? Why am I going through this? And some people, as you said, they don't want you to share it. If you had shared with the right person, maybe would have said that go to him, we'll take you to the police station. But maybe you know the DOPSU, that the DOPSU is available for use
for all abusers.
But don't let us think that this abuse is only towards women. Sometimes men go through that.
Oh yeah, we hear that a lot.
I have friends
I do not ever know of a man who ever said he had been sexually abused by any woman though. Physically, yes, but sexually, you know, have men been coming to you that they've been sexually abused by their wives?
Yes.
Oh, hallelujah. At least. Now we have a balance.
But I'll explain the abuse to you after Doc.
Yes, of course.
You know, so if you have this, this one specific situation about this lady, if you are going to DOPSU gives you a shelter.
Okay.
Have a place that they give you a shelter for some time.
Take you away from
take you away from the man. The man goes through counseling and some psychological rearrangement.
Okay.
And if they know that you cannot live with this person, then of course the law has to take its course.
Take over.
Nobody, no human being, no woman should go through this structure. I mean, I work for women, so when I see a man abusing a woman, and I said, hey, what is happening here? So the woman has gone through a lot, and she's saying medically, and there's a medical student here, right? Medical person here. Yes, you are here. 4 miscarriages. Tells you a lot. A woman, she could have lost her life. So because of that, she has had psychosomatic, something that has affected, the physical situation has affected her thinking.
Of course.
Because no normal person will go in and take concoctions and give to the husband in small doses. And for the man to stop what he's doing, the man has gone around and had 2 kids outside. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
And now she's saying she's pregnant. Is a pregnancy from the man? Actually, I don't know. I don't want to be a judge.
She's saying
I
that
don't want to be a
judge. After he became nicer, he started giving her attention, and now they have a sustained pregnancy.
Unwell and nicer.
Yes.
These small doses of the poison substance, can kill him.
Yeah.
And what will also kill you, the woman? Are you prepared to have a child whose father you have destroyed or killed? So these are some of the support systems that I think it's an important program. We brought this up. And I think the woman is bold to tell this story, if she's listening. But of course, we cannot also absorb her from what she has done. Because there's a consequences for every action that you take. If they say that you are mentally not or psychologically not stable, that's why I did what I did, that's also not right. You cannot prove it in any law court.
Yes, Counselor, so we're talking about sexual abuses. At what point that as a married woman, you say that, okay, yes, I'm supposed to respond to my husband, give him my body and all of that, but this is above and beyond. I feel abused. I'm unhappy.
Okay, first of all, abuse can be committed overtly and covertly.
Yes.
So when you deny your partner sex, you are abusing him or her.
Okay.
And if you go in at the wrong timing, with the wrong atmosphere.
Denial. I will not give it to you for both the men and the women.
Yes, from both sides.
Do the men come to complain?
Yeah, they come.
That they are being done. How about the women? Was there any woman that comes to say that my husband has not been doing it enough?
I had a client before coming here who had an issue with the husband for the past 3 months.
He's not touched her.
Honestly, let me tell you, I had a client, a lady, who had 4 sexual intercourse with the husband for 9 years in marriage. So if you strike the average,
what?
2.5 years, 1. 2.5 years, 1. Yes, if you strike the average, 9 years for sexual intercourse. Things are happening, and sometimes we cannot say it out there. Things are happening.
There are issues with the sexual lives of couples.
Someone being married for 40 years and she had never enjoyed sex with the husband. But they have children. Because you don't need orgasm to have children.
Yes.
Yes, a doctor will tell you that.
Conscripted.
And they will come about they will come about saying I'm a man enough because I produce children.
No, it is not power. It is a strategy.
So
it's
practically,
it's an art. You
feel free, sir.
I don't like your look.
Feel free. You need to teach us practically what are some of the things that couples should.
Both need to prepare yourselves.
Good.
Mentally, emotionally, physically.
Yes.
Very, very important.
Yes.
Very, very important.
Before you go in, you need to be neat. You need to polish it. Sometimes I want to refrain from going to the scriptures, but the scripture says you need consent from your wife and husband before sex.
Okay.
Because the Bible says if you cannot give it, then you need consent. Now, who seeks consent? If you look at the scriptures carefully, once you are married, your sexual organ belongs to your partner.
Yes.
And so what happens if my husband's organ belongs to me? When I need it, I need to go for it.
For it.
If he cannot give it to me, he will need to seek my consent and give reasons why
I cannot
have it, because it is mine. Now, if you are not rude and you are asking for what belongs to you, how do you approach? You don't approach people rudely for what belongs to you. So if you are nurtured, if you are polished, civilized,
yes,
and you go in politely.
Yeah.
You can check. Let your guys check the word rude in the scriptures and find the meaning of rude. Rude means uncivilized,
yes,
uncultured,
Yeah.
ill-mannered,
Yeah.
impolite.
And it's in the dictionary
It's
as
in
well.
the dictionary.
You are right.
Meanwhile, love, Bible says love is not rude.
Yes.
So if I love you, I need to come politely, gentlemanly, lady.
So before I take this break, I need to ask you practically, as a man, when do you know that your woman is not ready for you? What is the sign to notice that a woman is not ready for you?
Right. If the two of you communicate well,
Yeah.
you know that your husband or your wife has come from town with some emotional problems.
Okay.
Because you should share your emotions. You should share everything that you've gone through. You should share all the negatives or the positives that you've gone through. So if you know that, this time is not the time to change the topic, the narrative from what she's telling you for sexual pleasure.
Because we don't switch so
Yes,
easily.
people say switch up because it is for me, it is mine, I paid for it, you paid for it, belongs to me. But the person is going through some emotional trauma.
That
emotional
doesn't make them
difficulties.
mentally present.
So you have to have your whole body present and ready. And there's a way, as I say, that don't be rude. Find a way to find the key. When you have the key and you have unlocked it, all the wetness and the things that you talk will come naturally.
They will come
Yes.
naturally.
Then, of course, even your erection will be maximum. Men, don't take the aphrodisiacs and think that makes you more macho. You're not punishing anybody, you're
No,
punishing
you're
yourself.
punishing yourself.
This is Confessions on TV3. I'll be right back. We are back here in the studio and we were talking about, man, if your woman gets wet, you will have your full erection and you will perform well without aphrodisiacs. That is what doctor said. I'm just quoting him. Back into the studio, guys. You good?
Yes, Miss
Is that a
Nancy.
good combo?
Yeah.
Wonderful, isn't it?
Um,
Please go ahead.
Miss Nancy, all this we are talking about bounce back to from the beginning, where they were starting. So who you marry is very important, and the family the family you marry from also very important.
Yeah.
You should check. You should do proper background check of the person you're going to marry. I mean, where the person is coming from. The proper SWOT analysis. Check the strengths, the weakness, the opportunities around the person, the threats. But nowadays we consider only the strengths and opportunities. Oh, this guy is handsome, he's good in bed, and all that.
Oh, so handsome is somebody's strength, eh?
Yeah, some people just,
Eh.
I mean, classify those things. I mean, that's what they want.
Well,
you know,
if I'm looking for strength, handsomeness is not
you know,
part of it, unfortunately for me.
and also the opportunities. Oh, this guy,
It's just a waste of handsomeness, my dear.
and also the opportunities. They say this guy, oh, they have family, did they have money in their house? Their people are big people.
Yeah.
So we only consider those things. We don't check the weakness and the
Of
threats.
the person.
So when we get into that bond, now it's coming back to hurt us. You know, so we should check those things.
Check out what doesn't make him the perfect person, because there is no such thing as a perfect man or woman. If you are interested, you find out their weaknesses and you will know if you can live with those weaknesses or not. That's a good one. Thank you very much. Yes, my dear.
Ms. Nancy, I have a question.
Yeah.
But I just want to build up to my question. So, marriage was created by God, and some experts say it is an institution. Now, the Bible also says God is the source of all goodness.
Yes.
So, technically, marriage is supposed to be good. There are a lot of things that are being revised. Technology is coming, changing a lot of things. So, I want to ask the experts here, do they think it's high time that this whole process towards marriage, where yes, you go do the knocking and everything, when you get to the stage, the altar, you be like, for better, for worse, for richer, for poor, to death do you part? I feel
That one is not in the Bible, so don't even bother
No,
yourself
yes,
about
but
it. You
I-
can choose to say it or not.
yes, but I feel that thing, reciting that thing at the altar, isn't it distorting?
Yeah, reciting.
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 That's
Good.
the key word.
And
Yes.
that's what it's been all this
Yes,
while.
yes. I feel that
You own it.
this thing, reciting it, isn't it distorting that whole conviction that marriage will be good? I'm going to marry, it will be good, just good, good, good. Because
And even if it goes bad, I should stay in it.
yes, like so because you are in a marriage is abusive, and because of for richer, for poor, for better, for worse, you are still in it. No amount of money can resurrect you when you are gone. you are dead. And the person, your wife, your husband, will go and remarry. Even if she doesn't remarry, she'll definitely find a man or a woman to.
Should, bottom line, from his contribution into question, why do people that leave marriages, why do people make them feel like failures? And because people do not want to fail, that is why even when it's terrible, it's taking their life and soul, they still want to stay in it, sir.
I don't know where that came from.
Okay.
Because there's nothing like you cannot leave in marriage. The Bible gives two scenarios whereby
you can leave a marriage.
You can leave and remarry.
Marry.
And the remarriage is for two. That is, if you lose your spouse,
yeah,
or your partner cheats
on
you, then you can leave. Now, we have something we call separation. And in cases like we are discussing now, it's, about abuses, there's a need for both to be separated, the two to be separated. And the separation must be done. You see, we do separation purposefully. We don't separate because I've packed my bag. So as someone came to me and said, we are separated. I said, how did you know you are separated? He said, I've packed my things and left. I said, no, that is not separation. You need to go through a process so that we plan it for you and then we know exactly the purpose, why you are leaving, and what can we do between that period of separation for both of you to get your healing so that you can come back together. So when it gets to levels like abuses and other things, separation is advisable.
Yeah.
You need to get separation, and it will give you the relief for you to bounce back. You know, marriage is a risk, a very high risk. And so whoever wants to enter into marriage should consider first his risk tolerance level with the partner he or she wants to settle on. Yeah. You need to consider it.
Yes.
We have clients who are cheating, and yet their spouses don't care a hoot. But if the same spouse should still CD, there will be trouble.
Okay.
And so
they love their money more than the woman's body.
The body. So we have different
kinds of people.
We have different kinds of people, and then we need to factor all these things, especially during premarital counseling. I'll tell you what. I counsel an older people who have been married before. And then when I finished, I realized that the man is quick-tempered.
Yeah.
So my final address was like, this is what I found about you. If you're going to marry, then you need to work on it.
Yes.
Miss Nancy, do you know what happened?
Tell us, sir.
As they left the office, the woman came back, closed the door behind the man, and said, talk to him. And it was like, wow. So you know this already?
And you didn't tell me.
And you are going in for it. I cannot say, don't marry him. I don't do that. I can only prepare you for your marriage. So I'll give you the counseling and the advice, but I can't choose your partner for you. But my surprise was, you knew
that he has a terrible anger problem, and you are still going in.
And you are going in.
You will wake up dead one day.
Exactly.
And, we will eat jollof.
And so maybe she's ready to take that risk. Fine. But if you know you cannot take the risk, like my good friend said, due diligence.
Do it. Because we are understanding that for realities and abuse purposes, divorces are allowed.
Sure.
Physically, what are some of the things that when a man does it to you, Doc, you are the doctor, you are the people we will come to when we're hurt, when we're in pain. Tell us, Oba, if a man does that, he's physically abusing, because some of them decide not to know they are being abused. So let's give them a gentle reminder and tell them what to do.
See, the physical abuse is not only one directional. Some men go through, I work with the Doves too. I've worked with them for some time, and I have friends there. Men also get abused. Wow. Sometimes the physical abuse is seen. So you can say that, yes, he slapped me and I have a swollen cheek. Or I've lost my tooth or something like that.
Hey!
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
You hit me for me to lose
Oh,
my
yes.
teeth?
Some
My
women
beautiful
use
smile?
some people women use the frying pan, whole frying pan to hit husbands. You know that? And I found a big man in Ghana whose name I will never mention, no matter how much you give me. And he came to the hospital admitted. That time I was Kolebu, I was young and had hair. He came, and what happened was that the woman had used a frying pan to hit him. He collapsed, he brought him to the hospital. He told me before he died.
Oh!
And apparently this has been going on for some time. Sometimes you can see the physical abuse, so you can help. What about the psychological abuse?
Yeah.
Constant psychological abuse. This lady in question, whose case we are discussing, has gone through that to the stage that when she got pregnant, you made her pregnant, planted the seed, got her wet and had sex with her.
Yeah.
And she got pregnant. And you kicked her. I don't know which part of the body he kicked.
For her
the
to
woman
have
to
lost-
miscarry 4 times. And to miscarry 4 times meant that the physical abuse was severe.
Severe.
Yeah.
So psychologically, she's traumatized. And she went to the parents, and the parents say that you are in for good, as we discussed from the beginning. And that this physical abuse, sometimes if it's on you, you can treat.
Yeah.
But if it's not physical,
When it's emotional,
a woman came
mental.
to me, I don't know if I can say it on air, a woman came to me that my husband wants sex 3 times a day, morning, before he goes to work, afternoon, evening. Can you give me some medicine that the thing will cool down a little bit
Oh.
so that I can have my peace?
Oh.
When I,
That's also abuse.
When she said it, my nurse was laughing. I said, you know what? Bring your husband. When the husband came, I said, wow, that is it. That's why the man is stout, big, huge. I said, Papa, I think. You understand? It's just, say the marriage, we've twisted in a way that because your body is for me, your, what they call it, sex organs are for me, I can use it anytime I want. No, 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 no. The wife can use anytime she wants. As she said, get to a compromise at the stage that you should enjoy sex. It's an act. You know, if you are not enjoying it just because to please you, or I did it for him to please you so that I can sleep and he will have his pleasure, that's horrible.
That's not
So some
fair.
of these abuses are not physical, you can see on the body. Some of them emotional. Somebody comes to work and will not talk to anybody. He's going through that psychological abuse. That is when this lady took a decision that she took.
The words that we say to our partners,
Yes.
that makes them go mad.
Yes.
Exactly.
Counselor, help us with that one, Doc. Thank you very much, Doc.
Words are more powerful than any other weapon on this earth. Not even missiles the Russia and the Ukraine wars are throwing at each other. I think
Say Israel and
I can say one word,
Yeah.
and it will end your life
Yes.
forever.
yeah.
Yes.
And I can say one word,
It can be killed or sexual drive.
exactly.
Yeah. One word.
You
see,
the
so-
killing. You sound like the killing of the sexual drive is more severe than death. Than ending your life. Hey, Doc.
The two of them are all.
All right, back to you, Counselor.
There was this lady who had been chatting with this young man. I said, do you like him? So, no. And I said, then stop chatting with him. Before she realized she was down there. Yes, because I told her, words are powerful.
Yes.
So if you don't like him,
Don't
stop
be
chatting.
listening to his
No.
words. Because the more you listen to the words, it will have an effect on you.
This was every day.
And we know,
Every day you sleep with it, wake up with
look,
it.
Yeah.
Miss Nancy, do you know why pastors are able to have affair with other people's wives?
Hey.
Because they know how to talk.
They have the art of
Exactly.
conviction.
That's a slippery
Oh,
road.
brothers, I'm greeting you. I'm greeting all my
They know how
pastor
to
friends.
talk.
Pastor,
My
So when
pastor
you are
friends
dealing
are
with people
decent
like
guys.
us, you
Yeah,
need to be
yeah,
very, very careful.
Yeah.
Because we know the things to
Yeah.
say that you
Yeah.
can just sweep you under your feet. So words are powerful. And they can change, they can make and unmake. There are a whole lot of things that goes into abusive relationship. Doctor has mentioned the physical side, but the emotional ones are not easily noticed.
Yeah.
The physical ones are easily noticed.
No,
but the-
Counselor, whilst you're still at it, can you itemize some of the things you should never say to your partners that mask them psychologically forever? Because I know most of us do not like to read. Probably the only time a certain man or woman would hear this information is right here on Confessions on TV3. So let's do a great job.
Unfortunately, I will not be able to give you one word. But it's what you say and how you say it. I mean, I can be with my wife and I can say, "Why didn't you do?" And she will be okay.
And she would laugh about it.
And she will be okay. I can just what to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you are not in that, you haven't reached that level
of
maturity and intimacy, then you need to be very, very careful. Yeah. Because the speaker, in communication, the speaker has a responsibility.
Yeah.
He or she needs to know the vocabulary of the partner. And that's why I cannot give you one word. Yeah. So what is Miss Nancy's vocabulary? What are the things that piss her off? What are the things that upset her? You need to learn, you need to explore your partner.
Okay.
One of the worst
Doc wants to come in.
One of the worst things that you can say to your partner is to compare your partner with your former girlfriend or your former boyfriend.
Okay.
He was better than
your
you
exes.
in bed. Exes.
Especially the bedmatics, right?
Yes. And that can kill any drive in such a person.
Right.
You moved on to life. You've gotten this new person. Why do you compare?
Yes.
If you're cooking, my mother cooks better than you. No, my ex-girlfriend is better than you, or my former boyfriend is better in bed than you.
So comparisons in general is unhealthy mentally for your partner.
You have the two of you are together. Please compliment her when she does good. Compliment her when she gives you good sex. Compliment him if he gives you good sex. And don't compare. Yes, compare.
Yeah,
thank you.
We should compliment them when they give us good sex.
Yes. And I gave one word to Doc Wise out there. I told him that in marriage, in relationship, there's one word he needs to expound and replace it with another word. Complain.
Yeah.
Never say your wife or husband complains. Never.
Nags.
No.
The 21st century word.
No.
Oh, she's always nagging.
Nags or
he's always nagging.
Yes, nagging. No, never use that word in marriage. If you see your wife talking, she is just expressing concern about something that needs to be taken care of. If you see your husband talking and not nagging or complaining, he or she is just expressing concern.
Yes.
When you accept it as a concern, then you're going to do something about it. But if you say it's a complaint and nagging,
it's
you're not
just
going to
noise,
do anything.
And you
it's
don't
just
want to
noise.
do
you are not
anything
going to
about
listen.
it. Perfect. Thus, as Confessions on TV3. Back into the studio, gentlemen, you had a question?
Yes, Miss Nancy.
Please go ahead.
I want to be convinced. I and my brothers out there, we need help. Okay. I want to ask this thing of sex after marriage or before, which one is, I mean, because you marry this person and when it comes to about sexual stuff, she's not good or he's not good. I want you to advise us.
Nobody is good or bad with sex. You just have to have the same chemistry.
You learn together.
And then the chemistry, interest.
All right, so I just want to know, I mean, with the two, which one is much more...
Counselor has stated that he's a Christian.
A Christian counselor.
Okay, so you would not agree to premarital sex?
No, premarital sex, no.
Doctor is a human being and a medical doctor.
I don't like them.
You are not like him.
No. You see,
yes, doc.
Of course, there's
but I can give you reasons, and I will give you scenarios and examples.
Okay,
and
I'll come to your. I will not drift the conversation away from the confession. Yeah. Another time, if we get a better confession, we'll go back into that.
But let me say that. Let's do a small data search. How many people had sex before they got married, and how's their marriage working?
Yes.
Some of them had sex before marriage, and they are still on it till today. Some people, I had a friend in Kolebu, and it was in that church that no sex before marriage, no hugging, no touching, no squeezing, no nothing. They go, one day I went to Kolebu, I went major.
Oh.
I went in, and the man's penis was like this.
Oh no!
And I went home. I told my parents. I said, "That's what you bargained for." No, I didn't bargain for this one. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So sometimes, don't let us draw the line so sharp.
Yeah.
Some people
there are great shades in between.
are genuine with you throughout, and you marry them, and you take them for life. So for me, yes, I'm also a Christian though.
Yes.
But what I'm saying
So
is
am
that,
I.
you see
And I
now,
don't have an opinion on this.
and I like that one. I like that
Oh
one.
yes, I don't have an
But
opinion.
don't make it so religious. I know
Yes.
that my pastor will not agree with me, but hey, some people have had it before marriage.
And it didn't
during
work
marriage,
out.
And it worked out.
Yes. In
And some people
cases it
too-
worked for,
Yes.
and in other cases it worked against.
Yeah, so
Let's be focused
Yes,
on
no.
what we are talking about.
we are not arguing on the Bible.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not
Okay.
saying that this is what you are saying. Are we saying the problems we having or the challenges we've been having in marriages is due to the non-sex before marriage?
No, that's
Exactly.
not. That's
So
not
let
what
us
we're talking about.
refocus.
No, no, it was
Because
just
no, I'm
something
coming
he
back.
decided.
Auntie, Miss Nancy, if you're going to test test, then you're going to test how she sleeps and snores.
Yes.
Then you yes.
After the sex, we
Wait, I'm
usually
coming.
sleep.
You are going
sir.
to test the food.
We don't get up
You are
and
going
go.
to
We
test
sleep.
Is that
chop
so?
money.
Yes.
How he's able to give chop money. You're going to test everything
Yes.
about life.
Yes.
And you're going, then you need to have a child before you marry because you're going to test
Whether she's fertile or
she's
he is
fertile or not. So you see, if you are not careful, we'll be entering into absurdities.
Well, I mean, on confessions, listen, I am a tongue-talking, spirit-filled Christian. I do
Bible
not
believing.
impose my opinions
Let me
about life
give you a
on my
title.
viewers here. All in sundry watch this show.
Yes.
The Christian, the godly, and the ungodly. The believers and the non-believers. So we try to, meet all of them halfway. Yes, so that's how come it's quite open. Like, back to our conversation. We're wrapping up. So for this
Lady.
woman who's been abused and she's tried killing her husband, and now the man has become softer because he is unwell and he's now staying at home. There are men who would be mean to you until they are incapacitated, until they are old, until they are this, and then they become committed to their partners. Is there anything you have to say to them, sir?
From the look of things, I can surely say, but not 100%, that the man is now showing love because he knows he is weak.
Yes.
He
Yes.
is growing weaker and weaker. It could be
Yes.
now. But let's look at the approach. The lady herself is also in serious trouble. So she must seek healing. She must go through the process of healing first. Then she will need to confess so that the husband can also get the appropriate medication or whatever,
Yes.
diagnosis for
Yeah.
whatever. Because the doctors will need to know exactly
What
what
is-
she
is
put in
causing.
is causing this. For all you know, the doctors have been wondering what kind of sickness is this. And so the woman, we need to take the woman through the process of healing, the emotional pains and the hurts and everything. And now the aftermath, because she's still
That is
suffering.
if by the time she's absolutely healed, the guy is not dead.
No,
anymore.
it won't take long. It won't take long. It will take
Okay,
long. Yeah,
okay,
it will be done
that's good.
timely.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Doc,
Yeah, there are three things
advise,
here.
yes, and I would need you to advise the brothers. What are some of the things that when you see your partner do with your food, you should be careful about it? Or, yeah. Or we would
In
need a
everything,
security expert.
no, in everything that you put in, you know what you are taking in. Especially these days. I don't
Yeah.
want to go into Galamsey. In everything, go into it. But let me say something about this lady. The emotional trauma she's going through will affect the unborn baby,
No.
the fetus. Because that will affect the baby. So she needs a psychological support.
Yes.
And the husband, we need to know which medication you give this man. Because maybe you are destroying his internal organs.
Yeah.
The doctors need to know what you give so they can help him.
Exactly.
This man might end up dying, and
Yes.
you are going through emotional trauma. I think this lady needs a lot of psychological support.
Yeah.
The man needs medical help. But brothers and sisters out there, whatever you put into your mouth,
Mouth.
that's why people pray over their food before they eat, right?
Yeah.
So that they commit it to God.
Yeah.
So that whatever that you are, so that whatever how you are putting it, maybe
Yeah.
it will save you. But this time, you should be very, very careful. This time of the temperature that you have in this country, the political,
Yeah.
you have to know where you are
The
eating.
season is
Yeah, you have
not
to know
very-
what you are eating, what you are
eating?
being offered.
Yeah.
There's some speculation going around that some big man somewhere drank something or ate something and is dead. You have to know what you eat. You have to know what you are ingesting. It's very, very important. But with your spouse, how will you be suspicious?
Oh.
The man couldn't have been suspicious that my wife is putting something in.
No.
And goes to a doctor because they don't know the type of substance.
Exactly.
The substance they gave you, you are
They
suffering.
cannot fix it.
And I believe that this one is a case that I think, madam, you need help and you need this case to be reported to the police. United.
I agree.
Yeah.
This has been Confessions on TV3. Tonight, I've had this very serious conversation with two great men, mature men with so much knowledge and experience to share. Councillor George Asa and also, Dr. Jehu Appiah. It's been a very good one. And I would end this episode by saying that if it's